Okay, so I'm just off the back of a 2-day fast that I broke in the most unnecessary way possible. Check that out. And I wanted to share with you something that happened 44 hours in when I put myself into the void. So when I meditate, when I journey, I take myself to what I call my medicine place, and I'll often meet with guides, with fairies, with whoever really wants to meet me there. And today I met a Patuparehe, and she was a woman. She was this beautiful woman fairy. And as I felt her skin, as I used all my senses, I could smell her, I could feel her, I realized she was me. And she was me in the place where I'm innocent. She's me in the place where I never got broken. She's that true, beautiful feminine that lives beyond all the distortion that has come through the experiences of being a woman, of being a woman through the ages, of being a woman now. And as I touched her and I was moving slowly down her body, feeling her skin, it was just this beautiful, intimate, loving, divine experience. And I was going down her body, and all of a sudden I heard this sound coming from next to us, and I turned around, and it was almost like I was being shown what happens when we forget that divine being, the beautiful, true divine feminine, the untouched part, the unbroken part, the beyond distortion part. This woman was writhing sexually, wanting, lusting, needing, but at the same time, like in this deep pain. And I saw the contrast. I saw the leak of energy. I saw the seeking for intimacy in places that it's never meant to be found, right? And the Patuparehe, she said to me, help her remember. She asked me to help her to remember. And so I went to this woman, and I felt her pain. I saw me in her. I saw many of us women in her. And I held her. I held her with my gaze that said, I have no malintention. I have no expectation of an outcome. I just love. And then I began brushing her hair. I began massaging her skin. I held her gaze in my gaze. I wanted her to know from my energy, you're safe, you're sacred, you are seen. Not through my projection, not through my judgment, not through my wounds, but in absolute purity and innocence, truth. And that's when the Patuparehe behind me, she said, the energy that we direct outwards, it's only ever as clean as the aura through which it passes, right? So we have this physical body, but we also have this energy. And our energy is blocked up. It's like electricity not running through a wire, right? And this is the work of sex transmutation. I feel like this lion's portal is bringing a message to the divine feminine collective about what we're actually clearing, about how important this work is. Reclaiming not just our physical bodies, it is about reclaiming the energetic body. Almost like we're being asked to, or I'm being asked to, rebuild the temple that has always held this truth. So today I am going to talk about transmuting sexual energy into the highest version of you using your own energetic template. The 13 gates that make up our tree of life, our sacred geometry within. so that you can begin to see yourself, treat yourself, love yourself as a temple. Every human being has this energetic architecture, and it goes so far beyond what we've been taught. We've been taught about 7 chakras. We've been taught about, meridians, pathways, but there's so much more. There's this, specifically this tree of life, this sacred geometry, these 13 cities of the body. And each city is an energy center. You can think of it like an energy center that holds emotional, spiritual, physical codes. And when these gates are blocked or leaking, we stay in the cycles of survival, attachment, and self-abandonment. So we know this root, the city of Yesod, as the gate of sexual energy. It is where both your potential and your soul contract sits. And that energy can either leak outward, and we leak it through attachment, we leak it through our unhealthy patterns, and we leak it through chasing validation. And that's all distortion. It's all created by fear. Fear that we're not worthy enough, fear that we're not enough, fear that we, are not capable. Fear as well of our highest version. It's a lack, right? And this is where the unhealthy relationship dynamics come out, right? It is stemming from that energy leaking at Yesod. Now, when you do the opposite and begin to transmute this energy upward, you then begin to fuel what is beyond fear. And what is beyond fear is your intuition, your heart's knowing. And in your heart's knowing and your intuition lies the freedom that we have been chasing. Whether you have chased it through, finding security in a person or finding a security in a paycheck. True security comes from you being the ultimate creative power, comes from true union, comes from no distortion, no fear, no separation. And this is all key to letting go of the force, letting go of the doing, letting go of the attachment. It's, we're unconsciously bargaining this energy essentially for love of the money that comes in, love of the person that stands, to our right hand side, love from the people who observe us, love from anything, right? We're bargaining this energy for love that is coming from outside of us, when this energy ascends from here, which is where our fear is, into love. And this brings wholeness. You stop depending on anything outside of yourself to feel complete. You clear away those karmic cords that keep you cycling in these same patterns of bad luck and situations and circumstances. All those attachments naturally fall away. This is what I've discovered through this work, all this hustle, all this force, all this coaching I used to do to pull people out of these patterns, out of this lack of abundance. You don't need to do any of it when you begin working with this energy, because that is what this energy does. Everything falls away naturally. You literally become a temple of love, and everything's got to meet you there, and it rises to meet you there. You stop dropping your frequency to meet everything around you, right? You know who you are. You know you are worthy. You know you are here on purpose. You know there's nothing wrong with you, and you start putting boundaries up around the energetic trespass from those people who are projecting their fears onto you, their insecurities onto you, their lack of trust and their separation onto you. Your entire life starts to change because everything starts aligning to that higher frequency. Everything that you've hustled for, everything that you have pushed so hard to change, it changes for you. I started using this statement, affirmation. If it doesn't feel easy like eggs, I ain't doing it. Because when I was, I don't want to use the word struggling, but when things were challenging a year ago, when I just moved into my tiny house, I'd been separated from my husband for nearly a year, but I'd only really just taken that step away from us being in the same house and into financial independence. And I had to give away a lot in the separation, in the legal separation, because of the success of my business. So yeah, like, it was tough. And it was interesting because somebody just came up to me one day and they said, hey, like, you're such a good salesperson. You want to sell eggs. And like, where is the logic in selling eggs? I had a business, but I just thought, fuck it. Like, I'm gonna sell these eggs. And all of a sudden, all these people just started gravitating towards me and were buying all of these eggs. And I was making money off these eggs. And I realized the feeling of ease. This was easy. There was no force. There was no push. There was no attachment. I was just having fun. And that's where the statement came, easy like eggs. And I've never done anything in my business since that doesn't feel easy like eggs. And you shouldn't be either, in your relationship, in your life, in your business. So really, the path to start practicing this is somatic. It's in the body. It's with the breath. It's with your movement. It's with your consciousness. Consciousness is a technology. It is with sound. It is about becoming aware of what these 13 gates are, where they sit, how the hums, chants, instruments, breath, movements move the energy upward through them. And, what, like I say, each gate reveals but also releases. And when you begin to practice this regularly, you build a capacity to circulate this energy constantly without leaking it. I go deep into, I guess the distortion side of this in my playlist, which is all around sex transmutation, and actually leads you into a really powerful masterclass, a 3-part intimate masterclass where, you can hear my story, you can hear how I moved away from lust, desire, sexual addiction, giving myself away, abandoning myself, and really moved into this place of beautiful sovereignty and self-love and more abundance than I've ever experienced in my whole life, with absolute ease of having it, So sex transmutation is so much more than a technique. It's literally a map back to divine union with yourself, with literally your purpose of being on earth. And that is to just be, right? To just be. To be one, to be peaceful, to be love. If you are enjoying this transmission and you're curious about my work, drop a black heart in the comments and I will connect you to the full 13 energetic gates map. And subscribe to this channel for the Sound Temple Qodex. I'm going to be bringing a bunch of sound transmissions so that you can begin using sound. And if you like using the sound, then I invite you to come onto my app. I have a free app called the Awakened Wealth app. And that takes you through just really super simple neurosomatic methods of beginning to work with your own energy to clear distortion, to clear attachment, to learn to surrender and really surrender into who you are in truth and allow that be the resonance to the life that creates itself around you. I call it the miracle frequency, and it's powerful. This is what I do now as a recovered coach. I literally help others awaken their own miracle frequency by remembering and embodying their true self, so you can experience creative and financial liberation, exactly the life that I'm living. So I am going to gift you something very powerful in the description area. Make sure you go check it out, and I hope this video was helpful. Bye bye.